The New Revolution by Keegan Long. For my friends, thank you for making every day an adventure like this one. Chapter 10. Freedom at last. I rolled the window down. The wind was gentle and fresh. The outside world promised more than the Acheron ever did. Maybe there was more to this wasteland than I had originally thought. Maybe it would be worth it after all. The Acheron was now miles behind and nothing more than a distant memory. I smirked at the thought of Hansen's face when he went to go tell his superiors of the Acheron's first prison escape. His perfect record now shattered to pieces. Maybe his head would finally burst and escape the confines of his body. The world outside the Acheron took me by surprise. The streets were congested with empty cars and debris, making it difficult for Mitch to navigate through. Houses and buildings were abandoned, with overgrown grass and vines covering the paint and front doors. The world I grew up to love, even if I barely remembered it, truly was gone. A reminder of what Cerberus took away and was capable of. So, I heard you're originally from Nebraska. Is that true? Mitch studied me as I sat across from him in the passenger seat. The last few hours were relatively silent, and we only stopped when needed. I nodded. But that was a long time ago. I was only in grade school at the time. I barely remember it. I think you'll surprise yourself, but it's still the same, Mitch said, just with less in it. It may be a bit beaten up around the edges, but we'll fix her up. And what about you? I asked, maybe a little too skeptical. What's your story? You broke me and my friends out of prison, but you don't even know us. Why risk your life for a complete stranger? You mean re-education camp, right? I rolled my eyes. Lies. All of it, and you know it. You were there, after all. Because everyone deserves their chance, Mitch answered simply. You and your friends were robbed of it, and the president decided to take a chance on you and your friends. I believe in her, and she believes in you. That's enough for me. But I don't even know her. I was growing frustrated. Answers that only led to more questions. What made me so important? I was supposed to be a nobody, cursed to live in the shadow of Cerberus until my time ran out like all the others. Why would she risk all that to save me? No doubt she's putting herself in the spotlight, a person who everyone thinks is dead. Well, that's a question you can ask her when you meet her then. Not long after a vibrant flash of green caught my attention. It was a sign that elegantly displayed the words, Nebraska, the good life, in an elegant white font that seemed to whisper promises of adventure. A surge of excitement coursed through my veins. Sarah gently tapped my shoulder from behind and directed my gaze toward a nearby field. To my amazement, what appeared before us was a field of cows. As far as my eyes could see, the green expanse was filled with them. The sight was nothing short of extraordinary. Their presence instilled a sense of peacefulness and harmony around us, reminding me of the simple joys that life used to offer. Mitch smiled when he noticed me looking out at the field. Like I said before, less. But it's not all gone. My face stuck to the window. The view of the fields of animals continued as we passed. The world seemed untouched, and just the thought made me wonder, was this how peaceful it used to be before Cerberus? Was this how life felt before the war? At our next stop, we arrived at a small downtown district. A sense of abandonment hung in the air. The once bustling streets were now desolate, with only a handful of stray cars scattered here and there, their tires deflated and their windows covered in a layer of dust. The absence of life was gone, as if time had frozen in this forgotten corner of the town. The local shops that lined the street appeared worn and weathered. Many of them had their windows cracked or shattered, their former displays now exposed to the desolate world. The signs that once proudly showcased their names and offerings were faded and barely legible, hinting at a past long gone. The doors of some shops stood open, creaking ominously with each gust of wind, as if inviting us to explore their empty interiors. Mitch took a quick look around the square. He paid special attention to the few high-rise apartments and office buildings nearby.
"Let's spread out and look for some supplies while we refuel," he said. "Nobody goes alone. If you see something or someone, don't engage. You come straight back here."
I paired with Sarah and we explored the nearby string of small shops the next street over. With our guns raised, we searched each store carefully, only to come up empty-handed beside the spare gadget or two that most would see only as junk. "What about this?" Sarah tossed me an old touchscreen phone by the looks of it. Blowing off the dust revealed a logo with an apple engraved on the back. "What do you think? Any worth?" "Maybe at one point," I sighed when the device failed to turn on. I tossed it to the side. No power. It's useless now, and we have no way to power it back up. "Do you think they have power at this camp of theirs?" Sarah asked, curious. I shrugged. "I don't know. Maybe? I wouldn't be surprised if they had some old generators they are running on." Sarah stepped forward to a small courtyard that connected the shops. Tables and chairs were tossed throughout, the looks of what could have been a small food court back in the day. The chairs, although worn by time, bore witness to countless shared meals and conversations. Some were covered beneath the shade of a majestic oak tree, its branches reaching out protectively, as if embracing the people below. Others were strategically positioned to bask in the warm sunlight that filtered through the gaps in the cracked glass ceiling above. "I think this place is a bust." Sarah took me to the floor when a small groan came from the other side of the room. An electronic hum buzzed through the courtyard. Definitely not human. A familiar noise we heard not long ago. "Did you see anything?" Sarah whispered. I shook my head, the pistol held firm between my hands. I double-checked to make sure the safety was off, like Mitch had shown me earlier. I cautiously leaned over the counter. My eyes were met with an ugly sight. On the far side, a hunched figure emerged, covered in a tattered tan cloth that hung loosely over its back. The weight of the fabric seemed to mirror the burden it carried, adding to the air of mystery and unease that filled the space between us. With each step it took, the room quivered slightly, as if the very floor beneath us trembled in response to its presence. The vibrations resonated through the air, creating an unsettling sound that intensified the sense of struggle and tension surrounding the being. Sarah joined me. "What is it?" "I don't know." The figure heard us and quickly turned at the sound of our voices. That's when I saw them. Those red eyes followed me every night I closed my eyes. The nightmare.